Hello, Renee Flamond here. You guys, this topic is loaded. And by loaded, I mean loaded. And before you think, oh, I'm not on social media, I don't need to hear what she has to say. No. You know what? Your children are, your nieces and nephew are, young friends of yours are. If you're someone that maintains like a separation from it, people you know are on something. And I come at this with concern. We're going to talk about, this is not a rant. I do get very intense, but we'll talk about manners and etiquette. Absolutely we will. But the danger involved. It's not just about manners and etiquette. It's about safety. Did you know that the sex trafficking revenue reaches, I've read anywhere from $32 billion per annum in this country alone, and up to $150 billion worldwide. Now, there's all kinds of stats, and you can look it up yourself. These are the figures that I've played with, and the thing is, I don't want to quote a lot of them because how do you even, it's all secretive. So how do you even really make that determination? But they have their ways, and these are the figures they came up with. Do you know what? Tobacco in 2020, $12.5 billion. Sex trafficking in this country was $32 billion. $32 billion. It's happening somewhere. And yes, that's where my mind goes with this social media, because I bet On the Line has made this industry go tenfold in finding victims. Tenfold. And it's not that hard to track someone down if you know what they look like, and you know their name, and you know where they hang out, and where they met, where they meet people tonight, where they're going. Do they live alone? Did they just buy a new piece of jewelry? There's a lot. I told you. I'll explain. And you know, when it does come to manners, what's funny is that if someone does have proper manners on social media of any kind, and I'm going to say Facebook because that's the big one that I use. That's the one that is the first one I think that made the biggest splash, and I use that for personal. But if someone does have a decorum of decency, you don't really even notice them because they make no splash. We've become so sensationalized that unless somebody gets inappropriate, we don't even hear about it. Before we dive in, I really thank you for tuning in. I hope you watch. And please hit sub, like, and share because I keep forgetting to ask. And here I am remembering to ask. I plumb forget most of my videos. I never say anything. So I'm really asking you because we want you to join us. We want you to join us so we can get all these words out. What advice... First of all, by the way, you know what I learned just before I started recording this? I learned this and I didn't even know this. January is National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. I had this outlined already, and I hesitated to make this video because some people, like I say, might pass by it. They think it doesn't apply to them. Social media, I'm not even on it. Okay, well, we're going to get to that in a second. When it came to my daughter, raising her, I gave her the following advice when it came to social media. Now, my daughter turns 22 very soon, and so that you can do the math of yourself with what she grew up with social media. The advice I gave her is, I said before, and this was when she was young, I said, if you can one day run for president with what you post, then it's okay. Not that she wants to run for president, not that she ever will run for president. But I thought, if you think about that, and I explained it to her, how they dig everything up on you. She knows. I tell her everything from a young age. They vet you, politics. She knows all about that. I said, so if you think one day that this will not surface and ruin your chances of running for president, go right ahead and post it. Now, what did that mean? Okay? Check your spelling, no swearing, no ebonics. You know, I explained why certain pictures wouldn't be proper. And of course she agreed. She's smart. How could she not agree? All of these things will cause trouble for you. You're going to be applying to colleges. You're going to be applying to jobs. And don't tell me you don't think that colleges and jobs and the military and Anywhere you apply to, they have people that go online to find your profile and see what you have going out into the world. Going out into the world. I see what other kids posts, and when can I just tell you, oh my God. Oh my God. The age that they are, the outfits that they're wearing, and I'm not an old, stodgy person who can't get with the times, but there's a certain thing there's a certain point at which I'm shocked constantly by what I see. And it all boils down to some final points. We're going to get into a few things that I think people do on social media that can lend themselves to being very bad for them if they're not careful. First of all, status changes. Constantly? Really? Status changes? Have a boyfriend, don't have a boyfriend, in a relationship, it's complicated. I mean, are you kidding me? My friend developed my Facebook page back in 2009, and it's private because that's personal. That's for family and friends. My Instagram is public. I don't put a lot on there, and that's public. You're free to go and look and join us, and Minnie's on there a lot with me, and I don't post a lot, though, you'll see. Not a lot. When I say that, I mean people post everything. I don't do that. But status changes, when my friend made the very first thing I ever had is Facebook, and it was back in like 2009, and I put divorced, and it says divorced still, and it has said divorced forever. Because why am I changing? I'm going to change the status if I get a boyfriend? No. Once you're married, you realize you're either married or divorced. If I got married again, I'll change it. But until then, I'm divorced. I'm not in a relationship, out of a relationship, in a relationship. And I'm not making fun. I'm really, really not. But I think not only is it, you do have to come back then and tell us you're out of one, number one. That's the awkward part about it. But also, if somebody's watching you and they realize you're just broke up with somebody and you're vulnerable now, that could be dangerous. Remember, your image, what you're putting out there into the world, everyone's going to see it. Okay, strangers can see it depending on your privacy settings, bosses that you have, schools you're applying to, everyone will see it. And, it's your page, no one else's, and I just want you to think about what you're putting out into the world. And this is woven throughout this video. Are you an arguer? Are you down on love? Can't quite shake the blues? I'm not saying you can't reach out, have a voice, but do I need every comment and every single disgruntled feeling that comes upon you to be bestowed upon me through social media? Every rant you have, you're down on your husband and you put something online like, in life they tell you to, people that do that, they try to speak to their husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or wife through social media and make a point, and they post some, it seems like a generic comment, but then you talk to that person, they had a fight with their husband. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't get it. I don't really need to see a picture of you in a hospital gown to go in to get a routine colonoscopy. Seriously, I don't get it. Okay, see, that's me getting intense. I don't get it. That was a thing once. Hospital bed, sitting on the edge, with the gown, heading in for my colonoscopy. Okay, some things could be left private. I was floored by that. And you should respect the privacy of someone else. This could be breached by if you post a picture of someone, for example. If they're not into you posting a picture of them, for a million reasons, they weren't supposed to be out. They don't like the picture of themselves. They're embarrassed. They try to maintain a low profile. There's a million reasons. Or maybe they are ultra aware of not wanting their image out there because of things like sex trafficking. I just don't want my face on social media. Okay, you have to respect that with other people. Some people try to remain off the grid. Off the grid. And and I want to just mention too, unfriending. Bad etiquette. Bad etiquette. It's making a statement to that person. I understand that. And that's a thing, right? You unfollow, you unfriend, you do this. But make sure you want to make that statement because it really looks badly on you. I had a person unfriend me once, and they're not in my life anymore. I exited them from my life anyway. But it just spoke to them, not me. We're adults. You could have hidden me. You don't have to defriend me. Like, it's such a 6-year-old move, in my opinion. It really, 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 really is. Another, on the manners, etiquette, advice side, you really shouldn't drink in Facebook. It used to be drink and dial. Remember that? I drunk dialed him. Remember? Now it's drink in Facebook, drink in social media. Stop it. And to get to a very dangerous point, this whole business of checking in. I am shocked how many people want to show where they are. I don't even get it. I don't even get that. And then you're tagging people. I'm very careful about that. I may post something about an event I had or a trip or whatever. Not while it's happening. Oh God, no. Usually after, as an afterthought, as a, I'm looking at pictures one day down the road and I'm like, oh, that was fun, and I'll post it like that. But there are so many things that can go wrong. I see people do this all the time. So you want the burglars to know your house is empty. That's the first thing I think of whenever I see people post things. Hi! Like they're on vacation, or they're out for a thing, or they know you live alone. Maybe they know you, or they can look back and they see your thing, single, and they don't see any children, and they figure it out you're alone, and then they see that you're out. That's all it takes. I knew somebody that did that all the time, and I think they still do. They post everything that they did, everything. I hide people like that because I just can't. They had a break-in. I'm not saying it's because of social media, but you're not going to tell me that the people that they knew she was out. Of course they do. She tells people all the time. Of course they know she's out. Of course they know she's away on vacation. When you post it. And, the safety of it when it comes to the sex trafficking, I think of it all the time. I told you this is going to be interwoven with manners and etiquette. When you think about, okay, I'm vigilant when it comes to not invading the privacy of my daughter or involving her in too much of what I post. I don't use her name when I post, even on Facebook. And those are my family and friends. They tease me because I say the kid. Because, you want someone knowing your child's name, what they look like, how they dress, where they are. If I were a sex trafficker, I'd be online looking that stuff up. And at $32 billion domestically, if that figure is even close to being true, they're having an easier time finding people. They're finding people. And if you have someone or know people that have teenagers or young people in their 20s or any age, make sure you inform them if you catch them doing something. And like with the properness that I taught my daughter, that definitely was with her reputation in mind and how she presents herself to the world. And with the advice I gave her, that covered anything that would attract someone in this seedy world. And it's on all of our minds. Ghislaine Maxwell just, she gets sentenced, in June? But she was charged. Her partner, Epstein, ended up dead in prison. Killed himself, they say. It's a big industry. A lot of important people involved. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not here to throw conspiracy at Epstein's death, but it's a sex trafficking ring that got a lot of play, a lot of attention, and it makes a lot of people a ton of money. And it's happening right here. Right here. People go missing. Well, if you're telling them where you are and what you look like, and they know you're this young girl out in the world at such and such a place at such and such a time with this group of friends that look like this, what do you think it takes for them to just show up at that place, meet you at your car, kidnap you, and bring you home? I'm just asking. Because that's where my mind goes. Of course that's where my mind goes. How can it not go there? Like I said, if I were somebody like that, that's what I would do. And they have people all over the place. You know, what do we think? Sex traffickers only live in a certain area? Oh, they're not near me. They have factions, people everywhere. I'm sure it's all done online, but hey, yeah. There's a blonde. She's out. It's Friday at 9. Yeah, she's hanging around with the redhead or brown. Yep, that's the one. You're there, you see her? Yep, that's the one. I think of it like that. It could be that easy. And then they wait, and they stalk you, and they wait all night, and they get you. I swear to God. I don't understand young people letting people know. I mean, what if you have somebody watching your every move, and they want to bombard you? Finding you becomes a whole lot easier if you post everything. There's no privacy anymore. And again, with the tagging. Not nice. I mean, on current posts, the person you're with might not be posting for the reasons that I'm mentioning, and then here you are, you're tagging someone. I think that you should be mindful, and I even think that you should ask permission. Honestly. Ask first around the table. Hey, you know, I'm going to take this picture of us out tonight. You mind if I post this and tag you? I wouldn't want anyone knowing I'm out for the evening or away somewhere. I just wouldn't. I don't want that. I'm sorry, but I think the sex trafficker is looking online every single second of every single day just for the opportunity to grab someone. And it is big these days, the social media. And again, I talk about Facebook because that's what I'm on and that's what I've been on. The humble brag. Can we talk about the humble brag for a second? I've actually done the humble brag with weather because I live in Orlando and I'm from Rhode Island. I've definitely posted to make my friends and family a little mad at me. You know, a side-by-side screenshot when Providence, Rhode Island is 18 degrees and up here is 78. It's funny to me. 60 degrees difference on the same day. I like it. My aunt gets a kick out of it. I do that. It's a humble brag. But I also don't do it when I go to Europe with my daughter for her Sweet 16. I don't think I've ever posted one picture from that trip. That was like 6 years ago, but I don't think I've ever posted anything. I just didn't feel the need. I really try to respect the kid. Mine. I always have. And I just feel like young people, they have a certain thing that they want to put out into the world. And you don't want to step all over that if you have kids. I see parents posting their kids' pictures and their adults' kids' pictures all the time. And I wonder if I could ever talk to the kids how they would feel about that. Another issue that I see all the time, and I'm sorry, I just think it's bringing the world down. If you vent, yell, argue, and complain all the time, and we all know the type. Every time you go to their page, it's an argument. And I've hidden many a person for this. They don't have anything good to say. Whether it's politics, their love life, the weather, their job, they're just complaining all the time. These people obviously want to engage with people. Maybe they're lonely in their life. Maybe they want attention. I don't know. Or maybe they really just enjoy having a voice. And you know, I like that part about social media, that everyone now has a voice, right? That's a great freedom of the press type movement. But do I need to know every single thought that you have? Everyone? Do I need to know what you ate? Oh, the food kills me. Oh my God, the food kills me. I don't get it. I don't even get that. Do you remember when we were younger and you'd meet up with people to go out? This is before, phones and social media. Did you even say to somebody, so what'd you have for dinner? It wasn't even a question we asked ever. And now people think I want a picture of your chicken casserole. I don't get it. I don't get that at all. Not at all. If you look back on pictures of us, all of us, from yesteryear, there are no pictures of like a lasagna from 1982 that I took, that I cared to keep. it's a first meal you and your husband cook together, or you and your children cook together, or it's something these are the reasons. That's fine. But the food all the time, every day, I need to know what you eat. Every day, 3 times, all the time. Oh, but you forgot your snacks. Please don't forget your snacks. See, I do. I get intense. It bothers me. It bothers me. And online pleas to your person, like if you're in a relationship, about your problem with your person, or to the person about how perfect your love is. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Isn't he right down the hallway? Don't you live together? Did you tell him today how much you're swooning? Because on the Facebook, you're swooning or complaining, one or the other. Years ago, I knew someone who put this big, mushy post of a marriage anniversary. I think they were married 10 years or something. They weren't happy. I knew her because I spoke with her. And certainly got divorced shortly thereafter. How does that feel? And you might say, well, somebody might post something for their anniversary and be proud of that, and then they might get divorced after things happen. Okay, but it doesn't happen within a minute. Something's awry, and yet you post happy birthday, love of my love. I know what you're hoping, the impression that you want to give to the world, but if you said nothing and didn't post anything, no one's even going to know or care or think anything. So if something did go awry and you did get divorced, you don't have to explain yourself why there's egg on your face that you just said, oh, we're so in love. And I'm not saying I don't want people posting that stuff. Post away. Just give it some thought. And I often wonder, I'm like, you'll see, I love my wife so much. She's the best ever. Did you tell her? Or is that just a post to get brownie points from her? Or my husband, I know somebody who's always they're just unhappy. And she's always posting things like, weird, memes and a comment about life and love and broken relationships and blah, blah, blah. You don't think he's reading that? So that's being passive aggressive. You're trying to let him know and let the world know that you have problems. And to what? Come back and say something to you? You want commentary. You want someone to say something so you can say something. You want somebody to say something. And it's disgusting and I can't stand it. And you know what else? When somebody asks, like I said, Facebook to me is personal. I don't accept every request that I get for a friend on Facebook. They've got to know people that I know. Instagram, like I said, anybody can follow you. And if it's public like mine is, anyone can see anything and that's fine. Well, you don't think I'm posting things about my life and where am I and where I'm vacationing and where I'm having dinner that night and what friends I'm with. And I get it. A lot of people, they just really want to show how fabulous their life is. I've never felt that way. I do have a fabulous life and nobody knows nothing. I mean, I try to keep my posts to just me, Minnie maybe, you know what I mean? But I'm not every time I do something, every time I get together with people, every time I'm on vacation, every time I go somewhere. I don't, and I forget. And sometimes I mean to. Like if you're with someone that you know and other people will want to see that you two are hanging out, like a family member, like I hang out with my cousin. We always forget to post the pictures of us when we're together. We know we have aunts, cousins, what they'd like to see. I even forget that. You got to watch who you're friending. If they try to, I say the word friend because again, my thing is Facebook. So somebody friends you, look at if you have mutual friends in common. And who are those mutual friends in common? Are they a friend of a friend of a friend? If it gets too far away, I had someone come to me, a little odd. I sensed it right away. And I looked it up and I was like, why did I friend this person? They're being, I don't know, I got a little scared. I thought it was kind of like a scammer. And I've since debunked the whole thing. But I looked it up. Sure enough, it was like the mutual friends we had in common. I hardly know because those mutual friends were mutual friends of mutual friends. And so I said yes to them, but I know them from a certain person. If it gets too weeded out, you're not going to know that person. If they're a stranger, be very, very careful of who you allow into your world. You're letting the world see you. They see right into you. Everything. And it doesn't take much. Think about it. If you've ever looked somebody up, maybe you are somebody who's employed somebody for a job. And so you've had staff look somebody up on Facebook, you know what? Or maybe you're on a college admissions committee and you've looked people up on their social media. You know what? Look this person up. Tell me what they're all about. You've seen crime shows, how investigators use this now. And they'll go to the social media and they'll find the person, or they'll know a lot about the person from what they're seeing on social media. You have to be careful about what you put out there. And please have manners and etiquette. We're all getting so mean with each other. Don't you see it? We're just mean and we're fighting, and nobody is just allowing anything to go by. Nobody allows anything to go by, ever. I'm astonished constantly. And you know, I'll see something and maybe even want to say something, and you don't know the times I've typed it out, and then I was like, just don't bother. Just erase it. Just erase it. You're not going to get through to somebody if they feel a different way than you because you commented on their social media. They want you to do that. They want you to do that. And Facebook, I don't know, I just see people not being polite. I see people not being polite. I heard somebody once talk to me, tell me with their mouth to my face, chatting, one person to another. It wasn't hearsay. I heard them say it. That they don't like a person. Oh my God, did you see her this? And da-ba-ba-that, and da-ba-ba-that. Within a week, it's on the Facebook. Happy birthday, so-and-so. Hope you have a good day. Wanted to be sick, I did. Because I don't like the dishonesty. I don't like that two-facedness. Now, that person could have just not have wished them anything. You didn't have to say happy or have a bad birthday. I don't like you. I was telling Renee I don't like you last week. I'm not saying you have to post that, but do you have to go overboard the other way and be a walking dichotomy of hypocrisy? Like, it's gross. It incenses me to no end. The phoniness and the two-facedness that can come to fruition when you know the person and you know who they're discussing, and then you see what they post. I get aggravated, I do. But especially in light of it being, and I didn't know that it was National Slavery and Human Prevention Month. National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. This is January. I didn't even know that when I outlined this video. I didn't have that in mind. But I have that concept on my mind all the time. These young girls posting these pictures, and I'm sure it's boys too, posting provocative pictures of them when they're 16, 17 years old. Everyone thinks that the bikini picture is the way to go. Everyone thinks that, it's funny because I have a picture of myself that I took once, it's my backside. I didn't take it. Somebody took it. And I've outlined a video that goes with it. And I'm so hesitant to post even that. And it's not anything to do, it's about body image. So it's a very positive message. But I hesitate to post that here. It's going to be a Friday off topic as soon as I get the courage. Because I don't want to be scandalous. But it's never anything on earth that I would ever post other than having some kind of, maybe trying to have a positive effect for young girls and young women about their bodies. Do you follow what I'm saying? And you'll see what I mean if I ever post it. But when I look at what people put out of themselves and at young ages, you guys, I'm sorry, there is a point at which it's too young to get that way, to get all sexual like that on the line. People are watching. I want you to tell your young people. People are watching. And it could be anytime, anywhere. Everyone makes it extremely easy to be found, to be stalked, to be kidnapped. And please keep in mind etiquette and manners, and let's all try to be kinder to each other. But if you know some young people and they're kind of acting out of whack with all of this kind of thing, please steer them in the right direction, because we want our young people safe. That's what we want.